Hey, and welcome to Matt and Jess TV. I am Matt Roast.
And I'm Jessica Bun Bun.
Welcome to our new edition of Big Brother 28 live feed spoilers. Let's just say from the rip here, like, this is going to be an emotional video, guys. We're going to try to take you through the last 24 hours, which have brought us grief, bargaining, denial, like all of the stages just like rolled into like a neat, tiny little ball.
I have never voted for any online Big Brother competition type thing ever, but I'm telling you right now, I voted an unhealthy amount of times using every single email I have for Drew to get a power. This has been, it really has been really emotional. We've got Haley as the HOH. We know that Drew is in trouble. I was just like, oh my God. And I was voting all morning long. It's also really emotional for me because just as, let me waste your time for a second here, Felix is going to preschool in a week. So I've also been all day kind of rushing around trying to make sure his backpack's got his name in it and I got his little blankie and all this other stuff for school. It has just been wild.
This has been
what a day.
One of the wildest 24 Big Brother plus life days we can ever really imagine. And it's just like there were two things that really went through my brain here from like a 12-hour period in between learning that Haley won HOH, which I wanted to go almost full Dark Knight at that point, being like, are we just going to start watching the world burn? Or are Jess and I going to have to become variations of the Joker on this channel?
No, this was my villain origin story, watching Haley come into power, where we have 4 members of the tool shed back to back to back to back. And then now everyone has turned on Drew. I was like, well, I guess that's it for him.
Yeah. And then Jess was telling me this morning, like, how many times that she voted for Drew.
Voted. I couldn't help myself.
Then I started to go through like the stages of grief with myself, because then I started to be like, am I a bad fan? Because I did not vote as many times as Jess did. And it's just like, if they ever came out, and I know Julie probably won't do this, but she did disclose results to Jason.
Yep.
If she was like, and we have to tell you, there was a 4-vote difference between D if D gets the power, and then like, I would be so mad at myself because like I could have turned the tide.
Right, but if there's a 4-vote difference and he won.
There you go. Okay, well, we're going to try to take you through everything that has happened. It is a journey full of trials and tribulations, but also a lot of fun here.
Okay, but first, be sure to join our YouTube memberships. We have a brand new video coming up tomorrow there just for our members, all about whether or not this whole season of Big Brother is just a giant Survivor advertisement. Because like I said, I voted like 1 million times for Drew this morning, and you can get your 5 votes in, and then you have to watch an advertisement to move into your next 5 votes. And that advertisement every single time was Survivor and the new season that's coming up. There's so many things that are connected to Survivor with this whole summer season. It's a really fun video, so be sure to join our memberships. Helps us out. Check it out, and we're really enjoying the conversation, so thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. We've been blown away by everyone who has joined our YouTube membership, supported us. Like, it's so very nice.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Okay, well, let's just start with the early part of this emotional journey, because I understand Haley's HOH win spawned a lot of anger. Like, yes, I know there are people rooting for Red Corner, that side of the tool shed. It's like there's never a Big Brother season where every person in the fandom is on the same side, right?
No, I am not part of that fandom. As you guys know, I am a Druther. I know that he is part of the tool shed, but he has been like getting pushed out. And now this week, it's just like, you're going up as a pawn. And it's just like, you know that pawns always go home. And I feel like because Drew, when he first was like, oh, well, Haley is the HOH, so I don't have anything to worry about. I was like, oh no, they are looking at you. So by the time it came up that it was like, maybe you're going to be going up, it was very worrisome for him.
Yeah.
And me.
It should be worrisome for all of us. Like, I am a Drew fan. Like I have said that, Melody is my #1 this season, but Melody is attached to Drew. I wish that they were even more attached, and I'm not even talking about a showmance. I just wish that Drew was honest with her about every single thing. But like Drew going out this week, it hurts Melody in that way, because like that's one of the only sources of possible information. The only sort of peace and solace that I tried to give myself in the early going was just reminding myself, Haley, despite being in a huge alliance, despite having power this week, she actually kind of sucks at Big Brother. Like, let's just start off here Yeah, the initial nomination idea was, all right, I'm going to nominate Melody, Taylor, and Drew. And even though you're going to go and put Drew on the block, even though he's a part of your alliance,
Yep.
Taylor was actually her desired target early on in this process.
I just don't get it. I don't understand where her thought is with this, except that maybe Kamu thinks that Taylor's good looking and maybe Haley's not feeling that great about it. I was just kind of like, what threat is Taylor to your game?
I don't understand this. I don't know if this is just the spread of bad information Angela has done. Angela spiraled about everybody, but like one of her spirals was that Taylor in particular was trying to flip all these votes, which is just like deeply ironic because Taylor is one of the real reasons why the votes could not flip because
Right.
she did not want to lose Lala from the game, but
Right.
yet, Big Brother telephone, everything gets back to Haley, and it's just for whatever reason, Haley doesn't vibe with Taylor, feels like Taylor is bad for her game, but this is exhibit A of Haley just stinking badly at Big Brother, is her not considering, oh, like who do my actual allies want out of the game? Like they're just not immediately gonna do whatever the HOH wants, right?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting that she really just was like focusing in on what she wants, where like for the overall alliance, is getting Taylor out really gonna help anything? Where's Mallory on this block at that point?
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, why is she not a name that's up for consideration after winning a couple challenges?
And a lot of this has to do with, and we'll get more and more into this, like just how utterly self-righteous Haley is about both her Big Brother strategy and the way that she talks about herself in the game.
HOH-itis, it's a real thing.
Like, I think both of us knew that if Haley ever got to this position, because she was already self-righteous before she even had the HOH key,
Right.
that this was going to be a mess. It has not disappointed in that way
No.
for like so many different reasons. Okay, let's just start with this. You get your HOH letter. Haley was even telling everybody before this happened that she was going to go up there and give a speech and basically said something to the effect of, if you have been talking bad about me, you can get out. Don't be in my room. Don't be spending time with, like, she
Bruh.
thinks she ate everything up in this speech. That it
Yeah.
was just like, I'm not even sure she got one crumb. I think she may just be leaving this table with an empty plate.
Yeah.
It was so unbelievably bad, but she also thinks that it's great. And then you also have other people like her own alliance telling her that it's great. So she's never really going to get the memo here.
Right. And what she will have done is if any of these people are on the jury, she's burned that already. Like, it just is ridiculous.
It's so absurd. And including, like, I don't want anybody to enter this room unless you knock. You have to knock before you come in here. And do you know that this power is temporary, Haley? That you do not get to be HOH. And I think it's HOH-itis combined with the idea that, it's obviously very frustrating for us, but this idea that this alliance has never been in danger this entire season.
Nope.
It has allowed them to have like this sense of entitlement where I have listened to Haley talk about how she's had it so hard these past few weeks of the game, that this has been so difficult for her. Like she's had to endure all of these. I'm just like, are these her conversations in the room with us? Like, well, what is going on?
Yeah, I don't know what is going on. She is part of the major alliance that has been in power for 4 weeks in a row, including one of them being you now. It's so delusional. I really don't understand why she's feeling this way.
Yeah.
The only thing I can think of is just that it's hard being in the Big Brother house and it's just getting to her because all you can do is think yourself to death there.
Yeah.
But just the same, you are part of a huge alliance that is sticking with you.
I think the thing is, there are degrees of delusion. There is fun delusional and there is not fun delusional. Keanu, extremely fun delusional because it was just like he was just tearing through the house and doing ridiculous things. Haley is not fun delusional because like she makes some comments that come across as personal. She acts like everybody is out to get her all the time. And she doesn't listen to even sound advice. And yes, Keanu did this sometimes as well. But like,
Yes.
for example, both Chuck and Devins early on in her HOH were just like, okay, don't do this with Drew. Don't nominate Drew unless Drew is actually your target. And like, she didn't seem to listen to any of that. Like, she was just continuing to go forward with this idea. These are the nominees. Drew won't be the target, but that's okay. It's all going to be fine.
Right. It's just so weird to be part of a big alliance and you're not really listening to what they're giving you. Like, I understand that it's her HOH and she has to do what she thinks is best for her game. But some of these moves don't make any sense for her game. Like, Taylor?
Yeah, and it's also just she's saying things to people that are going to come back to her in the event that like somebody not within the tool shed ends up getting power. Like, people are gonna parrot all this. Like, the number of times that she has went at Melody and said that she's not nice, she's a mean girl, blah 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 blah. And yeah, I know Melody can be snarky. I am her biggest fan out here. I am very self-aware that her social game is not perfect.
I understand, but again, jury management. What if Melody ends up being on the jury? You're never getting that vote. It's like getting to the end is only one part of this game. But if you haven't managed the jury, then you don't win. We've seen it so many times.
Yeah, and that is 100% going to happen. This is why I don't like to say it. I don't want to say it.
No, say it. I would take Haley all the way to the end. Let's ride, girl.
Yeah, like, she is the ultimate jury goat. Like, she may be an even better jury goat than Chuck, who has done literally nothing this entire season.
Yep.
Just because I feel like it's better to do nothing than to be just disliked by the majority of the House.
Yes.
And I do think the majority of the House dislikes Haley at this point. And this is something where we have to all take a deep breath and realize an element or two of Devin's and Dee's game. Because, like, I know it's very frustrating that they're working with people that are not popular on the outside world.
Yep.
They're self-aware about all of this. They are recognize that people are being irked by their behavior, but their response to everything right now, feed into it, feed into it, feed into it, because it's just like the more people look at Haley, the less that they look at the two of them.
That's right.
And it was the same with Camus on this past time. So they're like already being very, very cognizant of this. And yeah, they have their own priorities in check. Like, they have things that they want, but one of the other ones is try to make sure no matter what happens this week, all of the heat goes on to Haley and try to deny their involvement in everything as much as possible.
And that's totally what's going to end up happening. And a lot of it is just Haley's own doing.
Yeah, like, she's doing deliberately bad things to herself, her own game, to the future. This is very different than the sort of thing of, oh, you make an alliance and then somebody else calls you out on it. It's sort of like, yeah, people were mad at Vince last season for coming out with like 100 different alliances.
Yes.
But at the same time, he never had this sort of sense of entitlement about him. Like, he never was this, mean-spirited at times to other players. He was just messy and he cried a lot at the end of the season. But those are not the same things at all. That's why I'm still kind of just sad that Vince did not get a little bit more support at the end of the game.
Our messy crying king, whatever. It's the way that it is. I mean, I liked Vince. What are you going to do?
I know. Okay, well, here's where we have to talk about some other players and kind of how they moved about the game going from last night into this morning, because it's just like, once somebody realizes that there is a target or somebody they can throw under the bus, they have to do whatever they can.
Yeah, so everybody handed you the bus schedule.
Yes, and it's like, I'm sad about this because I like Drew, but like at the same time, I also understand it. I understand if you are Taylor and if you are Lala. Taylor already went through a lot to try to make sure Lala stayed in the game. Like, why is she going to bend over backwards to not throw Drew under the bus? Because it's not exactly like Drew has been her best friend through a lot of the game. Like, that's the consequence of him playing both sides. And this other side that he has been working with is more Melody and Mallory than it's ever been Taylor and Lala.
Yeah, Taylor's absolutely right to hand him the bus schedule. She's going about it the right way. I would as well.
Yeah, I mean, and then you have Lyric, where I think Lyric is actually playing a sneaky, very, very good game at this point. And it's like, yeah,
she is.
It's going to frustrate me at times, especially if she is not able to express, if she makes it far into game, exactly every move that she's done.
She has to own that she is playing this type of a game, or I'm going to be very upset.
Yeah, I'm going to be thrilled if she's like, hey, I did this, I did this, I did this. Because the amount of just time that she's already spent with Camus, with other people, even with Haley, where she just has these conversations with them and just tries to make them feel good and tries to make
Yep.
them feel special, even if she's not in the alliance, being like, I want to be a part of things. She's got Kamu out here being like, should we invite her to the tool shed?
That's
Like,
right.
what should we be doing with her at this point? Like, that is the right way to go about this right now.
Thank God Rome left the game because she really is trying to find a way to make this work and actually play the game.
Yeah, she is. So, I mean, you gotta give a tip of the cap to her for
Mhm.
figuring out a way in which to do that and constantly put the target on some other people, even
Yes.
if it's like difficult and frustrating to watch at times. One of the other things that Haley has been trying to do in the midst of all this, yeah, she's trying to bring in Lyric a little bit, but she's also trying to sort of create this separation between these other people in the event that they stay, because she's operating early on, at least from the vantage point that, okay, Taylor is the target. That means that Melody's probably going to stick around, but I don't want her working with Mallory anymore.
That's right.
So I'm going to talk to Mallory and be like, hey, Mallory. So Melody, she was throwing you under the bus a lot that first week. She was out here saying all sorts of nasty things about you.
Oh my God, Haley, you're doing too much, too fast. It is Friday. You
Yes.
have been HOH for 24 hours. Like, get to work on that stuff a little bit later. You have some other things you have to deal with first. That's just not going to stick.
No, it's not. And Mallory, I'm liking Mallory more and more
I know,
As a-
me too.
as the scene, because she's just so reasonable. Like
She is.
her response to everything with this is just like, yeah, sure, Melody threw me under the bus. It was day 3. It was like the very start of the season.
Yeah,
Like,
we didn't know each other.
yeah, and like, do I still think that Melody could throw her under the bus later if push comes to shove? Sure, but at the same time, this is Big Brother, and I
Yes.
kind of feel like Mallory knows that everybody's going to do whatever they can to stay around and alive in this game. Like, Melody is somebody who would still value Mallory, and I don't know, her top 3 or top 4,
Yeah.
even if it's not the top 1. Like, she's still really important to her game.
Yeah.
So here is where we get to Drew. What's going on with you? What's going through your head? So
Yeah.
this morning, there's a conversation between Haley and Drew, and she had already talked us up, and this is what Haley does. She just gasses up these conversations, being like, I'm going to say this, I'm going to say that, I'm going to say this. Like, this entire conversation was lame. Like, she didn't even tell Drew that he was going up on the block, but she was just sort of like, I may need to nominate someone from the tool shed as a pawn, because I don't want to create a situation where I'm putting up 3 women on the block. I think she probably also didn't want to do, I'm going to put up Mallory again and trying to act
Okay,
self-righteous.
but Drew is smart enough to kind of do the math on some of this.
Yes.
Like, Haley is not going to put up Chuck.
Yeah.
Haley is not going to put up Kamu. So who does that leave? Definitely not Devins. So what? It's Barrett and Drew.
Yeah, there's not a lot of possibilities here. Like, Drew is able to sniff this out pretty early on, and it's like, yeah, he's upset about the possibility. He's disappointed about the possibility. I mean, yeah, he still doesn't necessarily understand how much danger he's in at this point, but it's still, you're going on the block. It's always bad.
Especially at this point in the game when it is still super early, there is literally no reason for this. Everybody in the house knows that there's a divide. The line has been in the sand since Ashley told everybody and
Yes.
then left. So putting Drew up doesn't make any sense. Putting up any pawn from the tool shed, for why? Why is this a thing that anyone would need to do? There are still so many
Yeah.
other votes on the other side of the house that you guys need to pick off to make sure that they can't turn that game around before you're like, oh, I'd like to put so-and-so up as a pawn to make sure that Taylor goes home or whoever else goes home. Like, it doesn't make any sense, and Drew should not believe it even for a second.
This is just, without even thinking about everything that's happened the rest of the day, just the idea of putting up Drew, target or not target, it's just too early in the game to be doing something like this, because it's so risky, because all these
Yeah.
people that are in the tool shed know all this information that they could run back to Drew, run back to other people. Like, Barrett knows some stuff. He really could tell Drew if he actually wanted to and had, I don't know, a little bit more courage in the game.
Drew is still voting with them.
Yeah.
I understand that they're all frustrated with Drew, but
Yeah.
Drew is still voting with them. So as much as he's been like, oh, playing both sides, is he really playing the other side because when push comes to shove, the vote is the important thing, and
Yeah.
he is voted with the tool shed every single week.
They're also, I think, really underestimating one other person who has information that they could pass along to Drew, and this is Yash, who
I
everyone was sleeping on Yash, probably because Yash was asleep for the first couple weeks of this season, but he's woken up. He apparently did very well in this HOH competition, and it seems like there's speculation he may have promised something to Haley, but he was willing to go back, like all that. But I mean, Yash is playing. He's playing much harder now. He's got like this final two thing with Lyric. Like he is actually the person in the middle of the game right now, and he knows that Devins has thrown Drew under the bus. And it's just like if Drew goes up, Yash can hand him information, then Drew can come off the block, and then they form an even larger group of outsiders potentially and become more dangerous down the road. Like, if you really want to pull the wool over Drew's eyes, I think you have to do it and just put up with him for a little bit longer.
Just a little bit longer.
But no, we get to the afternoon, and by this time, the talk about Drew being a nominee has whispered its way throughout and at this point, it's basically, all right, Drew, he is the target at this point, and all of the Drew bashing just begins in full.
Yeah, he is no longer the pawn. He is the target.
And Barrett, okay, I'm just take a deep breath.
I'm so out on Barrett. Oh my God.
Yeah, like you, okay, I understand there's going to be some game theorist out there being like, okay, so here's what Barrett is doing. Barrett is
There are too many Barrett apologists here. Like, he is just playing D's game. He's also someone, if I was D, I'd absolutely take Barrett to the end. He's going to get smoked in the vote.
Yeah, like, unless he is just like fully captivated with D, which I think is probably the case.
Yes.
I just don't buy any of the apologist arguments right now, which I think are probably something along the lines of, okay, he's going to be willing to cut Drew loose at this point, because then you're going to have the Red Corner 3, and then you're going to have the reality TV bet.
And then Barrett's by himself at the bottom of this alliance. Well done, my guy.
Yeah, and it's just like, they're going to get rid of you because they trust each other more than they trust you.
Yes.
This is not a situation where all of a sudden you're going to be able to, I don't know, sneak your way into that Red Corner group. It's like, they're not going to bring you in at this point. You're not going to I'm Barrett. I think this is why I'm even more mad at Barrett, is just because, like, you're such a super fan. You know about all of these buzzwords that we hate to talk about. Like, oh, you got to have a resume. But you do. And if your resume is, I just waited and waited and waited, and then I tried to do something, then it's like, congratulations, you're Mitch from Survivor.
Okay, I have my hard hat on. He is just there for his summer flirtmance with D. He wants to be working with the vets, which he is a super fan. He is having his super fan dream. He is working with the vets in a big alliance. He has a flirtmance with D. I don't think he cares at all if he wins this game, because in his heart, he's won.
I wish
He's so frustrating.
I wish it wasn't the case, but I feel like it is. Like, literally the only thing this has bought Barrett is like maybe safety for the week, because they briefly talked about nominating him. Yeah, I know. And then we're putting up a replacement nominee as Drew. And, you know, it seems like Dee doesn't want to do that because she wants to present. Like, yeah, congratulations. It's just like getting to jury. Yeah, you make a little bit more money, but there's a lot of people who make it to jury who nobody cares about ever again once the season is over. Like, that's more people are going to care about Jason, I guarantee you, than some people who make it to jury this season.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're going to get to the part where Jess and I start breathing in ridiculous amounts of hopium throughout this afternoon.
Listen, Drew got called to the diary room for a very long time. And we all know that, of course, there was this vote that was going on. Jason was told a little bit about it last night. We all know, as you guys know, I voted an unhealthy amount of times for Drew.
Yeah.
He was in the diary room for a long time, and it's like, here we go. Here we go. It's happening. It's going to happen. Okay, it's happening. Then he comes out and he starts talking about having a coin flip. But I was just like, what? Then he's talking about HOH takeovers. And I'm like, coin of destiny? Hello? Do you have this? Or were you just out here like gassing everyone up to make everybody feel like maybe he has something? So maybe we won't put him on the block. I was kind of like, I could see him going either way with that either he has it, and because he was kind of acting really like excited and giddy, I
Yeah.
was like, okay, he's probably got this. But then there was that other part of me that was just like, he's maybe wanting to protect himself and is just telling people kind of this little bit of information so that it would start to spread throughout the house, get back to Haley, and have Haley be like, man, I don't want my HOH getting taken over by Drew, so maybe I'll put somebody else up.
I fell down this rabbit hole so fast, like there was a vat of chocolate at the bottom, because it's just, I wanted to believe so much in this. It was just like you said, the way in which he was talking about everything, the way he was like going to Chuck and trying to get a sense of Chuck's gameplay. And seemed like Chuck was somebody he wanted to go after. The way both myself and a lot of people online started to like try to think back to Big Brother and, Claire when she had the coin. I was
Yep.
like, what are the rules? What can he do? What can he not do?
Yeah, but they can change
I know.
those rules to any season, right?
Right. And then I really started to go out of left field. Then I was just like talking to Allison Grodner in my head. And I was just like, Grodner, I was on my villain arc earlier overnight, but is this the redemption story? Is this like you come in and maybe being like, I'm sorry, guys, I did a bad thing. I cast these reality TV stars. I implemented this dumb twist that favored, like, it's okay. I'm going to make it up to you. I'm going to give Drew the Coin of Destiny, which next to the Diamond Power is probably the best power that is in there.
No, I gave him the coin of
Okay.
destiny.
Jess actually voted 2 million times for this. No, you deserve it more than I do. Like, let's be very, but it's just like he was talking so much in a very positive way. Like one of the things
Yes.
that really, really got my wheels turning was he floated this thing to Barrett, which I thought was really interesting. That it's like, oh, maybe the reality stars, the vets, are the actual masterminds, and they're just pitting all of us against each other. Because then it started to be like, are you trying to float to just get Barrett's opinion because you're trying to figure out what you want to do with these nominations and you don't trust him enough to actually say that you have this
Yeah,
thing?
and you shouldn't, because Barrett would not commit as usual, because he
bad.
is still in Dee's pocket. Your final two with Barrett and the jugglers, this is not a real thing.
So it's like by this point, I started to get so unbelievably hopeful. And I mean, all of this is
I know.
coupled with this other thing going on with Dee, because I think we're all of the belief that, Jason was probably getting a ton of votes because the way in which
Yes.
this was structured. Jason is gone. Dee has a ton of fans. There's other, Devin's fans probably voting with Dee. Same with Angela. So we were also really watching Dee, who was in the DR for a little while. And like she has this conversation with Angela, and she acts clearly to Angela like she does not have the power, but would she actually want to tell Angela in the first place anyway?
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think that she would tell Angela. I mean, Devins has only told Dee. I feel like if Dee is going to tell anybody, she'll tell Devins, but Dee may not tell anybody.
Yeah, like she had this conversation before with Devins where they talked about, there's a Survivor contestant named Drew, not the same as our Temecula guy here, Drew. Or Drew, if you use this power correctly, we will go to my favorite cinnamon roll place in Temecula. You're not watching this video anyway. It's fine. But no, it's just like Survivor Drew ended up going on Jeopardy and was pretty successful over there. So it's like that was kind of like their code words for if they needed to talk all this out. Like this did not happen before the nomination ceremony. So that gave me like that other little bit of hope. But here we are. The nomination ceremony has happened. What has transpired, guys? Okay, so here's the bad news. Haley has nominated Drew, Taylor, and then Melody for eviction.
Oh, both of our people are on the block. I mean, oh my God, what are you going to do?
We're sad together, everyone. You know how I mentioned that vat of chocolate earlier in this? Can you just pour it all over my head? I need sugar nourishment.
I know, that's the thing. And all this talk of the coin of destiny that maybe Drew has. Does Drew have something? Does Dee have something? As of this recording, it has not been revealed yet, but we should know soon enough. And hopefully by our update tomorrow morning, we will have more information on that.
Yeah, like here is the tinfoil hat theory I am choosing to believe right now is that either Drew has it and for some reason he has not decided to play it, which, I don't actually want to believe that because that would be terrible. Or he has it and it just is going to be activated a little bit later on tonight. It's kind of apples and oranges, like you said, comparing it to the previous Coin of Destiny with Claire. Rules
Sorry.
change.
Yeah,
You
they
know, it's
do.
a different, there's a lot of different mechanics that are going to see. I'm too upset about this nomination. I can't even speak clearly anymore.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, if it turns out that Drew does not have any sort of power to get himself off the block, it's veto, it's blockbuster, or he's toast.
He still has a chance. So all of the Druthers out there, you included, you still have a chance to believe in something. And for me, I will go cry in a corner because if Drew ends up getting off this block, then it means that Melody is probably toast unless she wins the blockbuster.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's still two chances left. And if
Yeah.
not, we'll be having cinnamon rolls with Drew. Probably not, but the offer is out there for this video that you are not watching. But we have been supporting you, Drew.
Yes, we have. Well, we'll conclude this edition of Big Brother 28 live feed spoilers. But as just mentioned earlier, be sure to join our YouTube memberships because tomorrow we're going to have our exclusive Big Brother discussion over there about whether or not this season is just some elaborate promotion for Survivor 51.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you here next time.